Take my hand, together we'll fall now, we'll fall now.
I don't think I'd change anything about my pregnancy really. Um, maybe, maybe the fact that I was so young and Sam so young. Most surprising symptom. Probably when my nipples started leaking when I was 26 weeks. It really kind of freaked me out. I knew that you leaked, but I thought none of that went on until after the baby came. Something every pregnant woman should know is that doctors aren't always right. Um, yeah, they have all this technology and all this new knowledge and information where they can better diagnose and better treat and better anticipate problems. But the honest truth is, they're not always right. They told me that my daughter would have a spinal defect. My daughter was born perfectly normal without a spinal defect. They're not always right. So just keep that in mind. Probably the funniest thing that happened while I was pregnant was the mood swings, like how fast my emotions would change. I would go from being super happy, like on cloud nine, to way, way low below the sea and in a bad mood and ready to just storm off and find a cave and become a hermit. One thing I couldn't get enough of, that would probably be definitely ice cream. Like, I ate so much ice cream when I was pregnant. I wanted it all the time. One thing that annoyed me most about my pregnancy was how people treated me like I couldn't do nothing. Like, I couldn't, you know, make my own food or do anything for myself. It's like, no, you sit there and I will get it for you or I will do it for you. Which, I mean, it's nice to be kind of pampered, but sometimes it got really overbearing to the point where I was like, okay, can I do anything on my own? um, a word of advice for pregnant women: trust your instincts. Just because the doctors tell you everything's good or something is a certain way, if you have a feeling, like a strong feeling inside of you telling you that something is wrong, follow your instincts. That was the case with me. Like, I knew that something was not right about my pregnancy, that something was wrong with my daughter, that things were not going well. And it took me weeks to get them to listen to me. And when I finally was listened to, it was at a point where things had gotten really bad. Luckily for me, though, things turned out okay, and my daughter was born healthy and alive, but she did suffer from the fact that the doctors did not listen to me when I told them that something was not right. Favorite snack food? I think I already answered this in a way with question number 5, but it would be ice cream while I was pregnant. I ate so much ice cream. It was amazing. A food that made me sick, okay, it's not necessarily a food, but it's from a certain restaurant. Subway. I could not eat Subway while I was pregnant. I worked at Subway, and the first few months of my pregnancy, going into work was absolutely terrible. I hated it. I threw up more at work than I did anywhere else. And a lot of times I had to close and I was by myself. And I would close up the store and no more than get out to my car and have to run over to the side to the grass and throw up. And then I'd be driving down the interstate heading home at like 1 o'clock in the morning and have to stop my car, get out, and puke. I hated Subway while I was pregnant. Like, just the smell of sandwiches made me so nauseous for whatever reason. I cried about a lot of silly things when I was pregnant. I cried about pretty much everything. Names that we considered, for a boy, we already knew what the name was going to be, definitely the first name, because Sam is Leonard the fourth, and so obviously it would have been Leonard and the fifth. And as for the middle name, that doesn't get passed down with his family, so we were in debate. He wanted to do Leonard Levi, and I liked Leonard Eli. So we kind of had a huge debate about that, but we never really had to resolve anything, obviously, because we had a girl. For a girl, it was pretty much always Abrielle. The only other thing that we really ever talked about and definitely ruled out was like Gwendolyn and Gwyneth and Guinevere. A little bit too Harlequin romance, I guess. That's my version of the looking back at pregnancy tag. Hope you guys enjoy.